you don't go crazy at the end. It's so exciting that it's now here. Let's try it again. We'll count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Woo! That's the part you miss. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We have something I want to go over before we start doing anything else. It's called VK Rules. Don't you think it's great? VK Rules. Let's see how VK rules. Ooh, no food or drinks. Ooh, do you know that rule? All right. What? No phone zone. No phone zone. That includes me when I'm up on here on the stage, or anyone else. If Miss Jess is up here, we don't use our phones up here. It includes people in the sound booth. Put phones up on the railings, please. It is a no phone zone in this room. And club leaders, thank you ever so much. Next rule, wear a mask. Someday soon that may change, but for now we're still first service, masks required. Next is be a good friend. How can we be a good friend? Be nice. What? Helping other kids. Nice. Listening to them. Not throwing things at them. Not that anybody ever would. Next one. That's all? We've got those rules. What were they? And be a good friend. We're ready to rock and roll. Okay, our topic this month is so difficult to remember. It's a big word. You're going to have to put it up for us. Commitment. Oh, making a plan and putting it into practice. Make that plan, put it into practice. So we're going to do a little game right after we worship, but we want to be sure who here is committed to worshiping Jesus. We're committed to that. So we don't want to just stand around and sit around and be bored and pretend that we're not committed. We want to commit to worshiping God. That means to really worship Him. So, I can tell you what our first song is. That might help you make a decision. We're going to do You Are Good. And then we're going to do Glory to the King. So who wants to lead You Are Good? We've got Devin. Nice. You can use that one. And I'm going to use boys this time. Good. Perfect. I'll put it down a little bit. Maybe. These are not quite as easy to use as we would think. Ugh. Well, nope, we're not going to do that. I don't know why that one won't move. Okay, everybody else stand up, because we're still committed to worshiping even if we're in our seats.
To scream it out from every mountaintop. Your goodness knows no bounds. Your goodness never stops. Your mercy follows me. Your kindness fills my life. Your love amazes me. And I'll sing because you are good, and I'll dance because you are good, and I'll shout because you are good. You're so good to me, and I feel love. I feel safe. I feel Jesus in this place. I feel the warmth within me. I can't describe it, but I believe. I feel peace, and I feel light. I see my stains turn pure white. I feel a burden lift from me as I raise my hands up and I sing. Come on, singing glory, glory, glory to the King. Singing glory, glory, glory to the King. I hear weeping around me, tears of healing the Spirit brings. I hear the moving of angels' wings and all their voices as they sing, singing glory, glory, glory to the King. Singing glory, glory, glory to the King. Singing glory, glory, glory to the King. Singing glory, glory to the King. Glory to the King.
Done. Fantastic. What does that song make you feel like when you sing it or listen to it? Does that give you guys any special feeling when you do that song? Anna. Yeah. Do you know what about it makes you feel happy? Yeah, who's the king? Jesus is the king. And the idea of getting to sing to him is amazing. Any other feelings? Okay, we've been talking about commitment, which means you have to make a plan and stick with it. The idea is, especially if you're on any kind of sports team, raise your hand if you're on a sports team, whether it's soccer or softball or baseball or football or volleyball, whatever, swim team, gymnastics, running, basketball. I don't even care. If you've ever had to work at something, how many of you have had to go to practices for that team? Now, if you weren't committed, you wouldn't go to practice, would you? You'd think, I'm just going to stay home. I don't really care. Yes, because you have to try, don't you? You have to really want to work at getting better, to be good at something, to win. So for our game today, I'm going to see how committed you guys can be with a couple little contests. The first one, I'm going to need a volunteer on the blue part of the stage there and a volunteer on the blue part of the stage here. So cameramen, make sure you can see both people. The first one that you're going to have to commit to is standing on one leg. We're going to see who can do it longer. You got to be committed. Okay, Landon, come up here. You can choose your side. Why can't I remember your name right now? Coraline. I was going to call you by your sister's name. I could remember hers, but not yours. Okay, the only rule is 1 foot has to be up in the air behind you. And are you committed to this? Committed to doing your best? Committed to don't do it yet. Committed to doing your best? Okay, the rest of you, whoever want to do it, can stand up where you are and try to stand there with one leg longer than they are. And go. Oh, good job. Good try. Good try. Oh, you guys have to go sit down. Sit down. If your foot touches the ground, you got to sit. Avery? That's okay. Good job. I like how honest you are, too. That you know that if your foot falls down, you have to sit down. Good job. Let's hear it for all of you guys. We're committed. Next contest. Sit down, please. The next one, oh my goodness. Do you guys know what a plank is? Okay. I need 2 plankers. Devin, are you going to try it? Okay. Do you know what a plank is? Denise will show us. Yep, you're on your elbows and your toes is all, not your belly. All righty? Okay. Anybody who wants to do it out here can go ahead and do it also. And go. Get your position on your elbows, buddy. Nice. You guys are planking. As soon as your belly touches the ground, you got to get in your chair. Anna, you got to keep your body straight like a plank of wood. Your body's not even close to straight, girl. Not even close. Get your body straight. Corey, you got to get your body straight, girl. This is not a straight body. This has to go down, right like that. It's hard. Ah. Liam, in your chair. I know, it hurts. You guys are amazing. It hurts. It hurts. Ouch, you guys, ouch. Nice job. I am afraid that Landon wins on that one. He kept his body straight the whole time. You guys are amazing. All right, come on up for push-up contest. That's going to make your stomach hurt again, and we just had our stomachs working, didn't we? Avery, what's your name, buddy? Houston? Kingston, come on up. You can either do your push-ups with your toes on the floor or your knees. I don't care which one, but your hands have to go like that. Okay? Okay, get your position. Ready, go. 1, 2, count your own. 3, 4. He's doing great. Cora, your body's got to be straight. Here's our winner, the only one doing them right. Good job, buddy. Fantastic. Okay, we got one more. And sit down, sweetie. I'm going to have, who hasn't been up here yet? I'm going to have you ladies. It's a surprise. Do you trust me or not? One of you over here, one in the middle, and one on the blue. What you're going to do, you have to keep your eyes closed for this one. Eyes closed. And you're going to have to, one hand at a time, touch your nose with your eyes closed. Everybody stand up if you want to do it. Close your eyes. Yes? Do that. Keep going. But we're watching to see if you miss your nose. Because with your eyes closed, sometimes you're going to miss your nose. Sophia, you're going a little under it. Close your eyes. You're doing good. Mia, you're going above your nose there. Don't poke yourself in the eye. Make sure your arms stay real straight when you're not doing it. There you go. You're doing great. You're doing fabulous. Keep those eyes closed. Oh, you bumped me. Sophia keeps bumping me. How do you know? Your eyes are supposed to be closed. Only about 100 more. Oh, no! Good job, you guys. Fantastic. Great job. Go ahead and sit down. You were so committed to that you're still doing it. Sit down. Okay, Landon, sit down, please. Open your eyes, please. You guys are fantastic. I love that commitment. Now I would like for you to commit to another thing. No, it's a good thing. It's listening to me. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you a story about Jesus, which is our favorite kind of story, right? Do you know that Jesus, he loved to teach his friends, didn't he? He taught them important things like how to treat other people. What's something Jesus taught about how to treat other people? What did he say? Be nice. Be kind to other people. Devin, do you have an idea, buddy? No? Coraline? Yeah, spread love. Sophia? Yes, treat other people the way you want to be treated. Anna? Right. If somebody's being mean to you, you don't be mean back. The way Jesus actually said it, and that's exactly what he meant, was if somebody slaps you on one cheek, turn around and let them slap the other cheek too. He didn't literally want people to hit you. He meant if somebody's mean, to be nice back to them. So Jesus taught a lot of things. Did you know that Jesus also asked questions? Jesus asked questions, just like I did. What does this mean? Question, hold that. Whenever you hear me ask a question, you can hold that up. Because I like to be like Jesus. Jesus asked a lot of questions, so I like to ask questions also. Jesus was hanging out with his friends. What's another word for Jesus' friends? His disciples. Does anybody remember any of the names of any of the disciples? Devin, one. Huh? John. John had a brother. Do you know John's brother's name? Peter was his good friend. Peter was one of the disciples. That's very good. Luke never actually got to meet Jesus, which is very strange because he wrote a whole book about him. So, I don't know. Anna. Again, Mark never actually met him. Mark did know his friends, so he wrote a book about him. Simon's name was also Peter. Interesting, yes. Mary was one of his disciples, but because she was a woman, she didn't get listed, but she was one of his best friends. So thank you for saying that. John's brother was James. James and John were brothers, and Peter and Andrew were brothers. And then we've got Matthew. Does anybody remember what Matthew's job was? Alice. Yes, he was a tax collector. He took money in. People didn't like him very much. There was a guy named Bartholomew. How would you like to be that name? Thaddeus, Thomas, Philip, all the guys, plus Mary. So important. So Jesus is hanging out with them, and he's teaching them and talking about things, but then he asked them a question. He said, hey, you guys go out into the towns. You hear what everybody's saying. Who are people saying that I am? Jesus is saying, do people know who I am? Do they know that I'm actually God? Who are they saying that I am? And so some of their answers, like they maybe went to the store and they heard people talking about Jesus. They said, hey guys, shh. Have you heard about this Jesus? You know who I think he is? Some say, I think he's actually John the Baptist. Because John the Baptist was his cousin who traveled around talking about God. So some of the people thought they listened to John the Baptist, and then they listened to Jesus, and they kind of thought he was the same guy. John the Baptist died before Jesus did, and so then they thought maybe John the Baptist came back to life, and that's who Jesus is. That's crazy, right? But people don't know very much. Other people, another disciple said, well, I heard people say they thought Jesus was Elijah. Elijah was somebody who lived hundreds and hundreds of years before Jesus did, but Elijah did some great things. Elijah could do miracles. There were some amazing things that Elijah was able to do. So they thought Jesus does amazing things. Maybe Jesus is Elijah. But is Jesus Elijah? No, they were wrong again. Then they said, oh, I think Jesus is Jeremiah. Now, this one's especially crazy. Jeremiah was also somebody who lived hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years before Jesus. Great guy. He's got a book in the Old Testament named after him. But he wasn't necessarily traveling around doing miracles like Jesus was. So I don't know why they thought Jesus was Jeremiah. Then they said, I don't know who he is, but I think he's just one of the prophets. Prophets were the people who traveled around talking about God, telling men and women, boys and girls, what God said. Jesus was certainly doing that, wasn't he? But he wasn't one of the prophets. So, Jesus had another question for his friends. Do you have something to say? No, but good question. You asked a question because you saw the question mark. What was the first question Jesus asked his friends? Alice? Do you have your hand up? Anna? Not quite. Coraline? Yeah. Who do people think I am? What kind of gossip are they doing? What are they talking about? So they gave all these weird answers, but that's not really what Jesus wanted to know. Jesus asked his next question, and he said this to his friends. Who do you say I am? Who do you think I am? You've watched me do miracles. You watched me feed 5,000 people with a couple fish and a couple loaves of bread. You watched me make somebody who couldn't walk stand up and walk. You watched me heal somebody who couldn't see and they could see. You heard me teach everybody to be kind, to love other people. Who do you think I am? Now, they could have said the same thing that all these other people said. Oh, you're John the Baptist, or oh, you're Elijah, or oh, you're a prophet. But they didn't. Peter spoke up, and Peter said, I think that you are the Son of God. I think that you are the Messiah. What do either of those names mean? Either Messiah or Son of God? Anybody besides Anna or Coraline? or Becca. Son of God is who Jesus was. God the Father sent his son Jesus to come on the earth. So that's essentially saying that Jesus was God. Was Jesus God? Raise your hand if you think, yes, Jesus was God. Yes, he was God, and he is God. Messiah is a word that means Savior, that Jesus came to save people. Who thinks Jesus was the Messiah? He was, and Peter knew that. Peter knew the answer to the question was that Jesus is the Son of God and the Messiah. How do you think Jesus felt about that answer? That's another question I'm asking. Jesus was so happy with that answer. He said, Peter, you finally know who I am. He was so happy about that. And so you know what Peter probably did? He probably sat around talking to all the rest of the disciples, John and them, telling them all who Jesus was. Jesus was different from everybody else because he was God. And there was a lot to talk about. Now, what if Jesus were here in this room and he would say, gotta find it. He would say, why can't I find it? There it is. Who does Vineyard Kids say that I am? We're all part of Vineyard Kids. Who do we say that Jesus is? Coraline. Who's Jesus? He's God, a leader, Son of God. So our role model, yes, Alice? Our Father. You're going to say that? He's love. Are we going to say something different? No? I would say those are great answers, but who Jesus is to me, he's my best friend. You know, we sing that song, Jesus, you're my best friend. Oh my goodness, you know that song. We're going to sing it in just a minute. Vineyard Kids, we say that Jesus is the greatest, don't we? We say he's awesome. We say he's the most important person that's ever walked on the earth. We say that he's the king. We say that he's right, don't we? One of the things that's so important for us to remember is we really should be practice talking about God all the time. That's one of the things we do at Vineyard Kids. We practice talking about God. But you don't live here at church. You don't stay at Vineyard Kids. Where else can you practice talking about God? Avery. At home. You could talk to your friends, sure. I would like us to practice right now talking about God. I want you to turn towards, first you're going to have to think about something. Think about something that you think about God that you could easily say to somebody. I just listed tons of things. He's my best friend. He's awesome. He's amazing. He's got great superpowers. He can do miracles. There's so much stuff we can say about him. But we need to practice talking about God so when we're talking to somebody who might not know God, we're ready. But we can practice here because we all know him. Does everybody think they know their sentence they're going to say? Everybody kind of swivel your head around and say your thing to the person behind you. When I count to 3, we're all going to turn around and say whatever your sentence is about God at the same time. 1, 2, 3. I guarantee that wasn't everybody in the room. That's fine. We're just practicing. It's not actually saying it. I mean, we're all saying it, so it doesn't matter. Jesus is here with us. Angels are here with us. They're going to listen, even if the person is turned around, which they are. Okay, now turn toward the clock. Count of 3, you're going to say your thing about God, because we're going to practice, or you're going to say a new thing. 1, 2, 3. Turn toward the map. You're going to practice saying your thing about God. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Last one is up here toward me. So I want to hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I want to hear 21 voices saying something about God this way. Got your thing you're going to say? God gives me some superpower sometimes too. I'm going to count to 3. Say your thing about God. 1, 2, 3. I heard 20 voices, so one person I couldn't quite hear. That's okay. You guys did an amazing job. So we are going to do 2 things. You never held it up for my questions. That was your job, girl. What we're going to do is 2 things. We are going to have to sing My Best Friend. I know you know it, and you'd think you don't, but we are going to sing that, and then we have to talk about our memory verse real quick. It's on purchased. Leave there starts with.
Of the one called Savior? Have you heard of his perfect love? Have you heard of the one in heaven? Have you heard how he gave his son? 'Cause I have found this love, and I believe in the Son. Show me your way. I believe in the one called Savior. I believe he's the risen one. I believe that I'll live forever. I believe that the King will come. 'Cause I have found this love, and I believe in the Son. Show me your way. 'Cause Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. will come. I have found his love, and I believe in the sun. Show me your way. 'Cause Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be. Nothing will ever change that. I believe in the one called Savior. Nothing will ever change that. 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 I believe that I'll live forever. I believe that the King will come. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be. Nothing will ever change that.
We will definitely have to do that song more often if you younger ones don't even ever remember hearing it. Oh my goodness, it's such a good song. We'll put it in the rotation. We'll do it more often. Okay, before you go to your clubs, has anybody learned the memory verse yet? Let's put it up there. We've got 1 week to work on it. We can see if you can get it for next week. It's kind of long, but it's really, really good. Ready. Training the body has some value. All these exercises we've been doing, they're good for our body. They are good. But being godly has value in every way. It promises help for the life you are now living and the life to come. Such a good verse. Talking about anything that we do, our exercises, our sports teams, all of those things really are good for us. There's some value for it. It's good for our bodies. But being godly, being like Jesus, getting better and better, has value in every way. For today, the life we're all living right now, and the life we'll live forever. Alice. 1 Timothy. Timothy was a friend of Paul, the Apostle Paul, who wrote most of the New Testament letters. But he wrote, Timothy was his friend, and so he wrote this letter to Timothy. So it's 1 Timothy 4:8. It's in the New Testament. You can find it. That stands for New International Reader's Version. NIRV. All right, you guys, go to your clubs.